breakover. So the whole thing you want to make sure of is that the foot is balanced over a center point that is always consistent with a point that is located at the widest part of the foot, which would make sense. You know, you want your widest part to be the center. Like if you were building a merry-go-round, you'd want to put it in the center of the widest part of the circle, right? And the widest part of the foot sometimes can't be seen if the hook capsule is distorted and narrow. So the other thing that is concomitant with the widest part of the foot is the end of the bar of the frog. So the very end of the bar of the frog is always in the same, always connected to that center pivotal point of the foot. So no matter how distorted the hoof capsule is, you can find out where your center point is via those two parameters. Widest part of the foot, if you can't find that, the end of the bar of the frog. So you find that point, and wherever that is, 50% of the foot should be behind it, and 50% of the foot should be in front of it. No exceptions. Anything beyond that is going to throw their balance off, throw them proprioceptively off. So what you do is find that point first, and then you have to know, and a lot of people don't know this, where the caudal point should be of that circle. The caudal point should always be, the wall should always share the same latitude as the widest part of the frog. So the bulbs of the frog, where it goes to the widest part, and here's a picture of it, you should have that sharing all the same surface. You don't want to have your wall up here and then you're getting a circle that's not a circle anymore, and you've got two different shared areas. So you want to make sure that the farrier takes the heel, the wall of the heel, all the way back to the widest part of the frog.
Right.
This frog, electron microscopy has shown that these cells here actually are cells of proprioception, that they have to hit the ground for gait timing. When this hits the ground, it sends a signal to the brain for the opposite hind foot to come forward. And if you don't get that, they start hitting, they start tripping. You know, I don't walk around grabbing my foot, do I? But if I was drunk, I would. Right? If I was drunk, the cop
Well,
couldn't
this
get me
mare
to
does
it.
that on the hind end.
Yeah, because she's proprioceptively off. There's three priorities to balance. Way trumps pain. A horse will stay in a painful posture to stay balanced. But if they don't get the right information to their brain, they're going to be dizzy. They're going to think they're in a funny house. One place is the bulbs of the frog, and there's so many horses that the farriers leave these big long heels that are forward, and their bulbs, the frogs don't look like this anymore. They become skinny pencils. You don't want that.
Yeah.
The other thing that is controlling it is, sadly, with this horse, the occiput atlas. This sends information to the brain to say that the horizon line's like this. The third thing that causes imbalances is not having a balanced TMJ. If they've got points on one side or they're missing a tooth, they'll get a bad gaze stabilization. That happened with Shaq O'Neal. He had a tooth pulled and he couldn't hit the basket anymore. His body was telling him it was there because his TMJ was distorted. So he sent the basketball 5 degrees to the right because of a missing tooth. Once they fixed that tooth, he went back to correct gaze stabilization.
That's very
So it's very interesting. So you have to have, that's why the teeth are so important and the farrier is so important. That's why I have a dentist and a farrier here doing the thing that I respect. So anyway, because I know that I'll have a dizzy horse or horses that are hitting or horses that are dragging their hind feet. And then me, I take care of the occiput atlas.
Right.
So I have a good team.
Yeah.
But now let's see how your team is. So we take this, and first we just want to see if the foot's in balance before we talk about shoes. So, not a bad shoe. You know, it kind of looks round, so I'm pretty happy with that. You know, I wish I had my hook back.
Is there one you want me to go find? Get one?
I just don't have much time today. I'm just going to cheat and be a pig. Here's the bar. So I'm trying to show you where the center point is. So, bamboo is blind gel. Now there's a false bar, and you don't want to go to that because some of it is not true. Because if they spread them, they see how that's a kind of distorted bar and it's been rolled out. So it's actually the bottom of it. I mean, the end of it's right there. That's false up here. And I can tell because usually there's about a ½ an inch between the end and the end of the bar, the end of the frog and the end of the bar. Okay? So that's the center, which isn't bad. So here we go. Look it, he's done a good job. So he's actually done a good job at finding where the breakover is. So if, let's say it was out here, you'd bring the toe back. The problem that I don't like, excuse me, she said I've had enough because she can't balance on that hind leg. That
Yeah, look
opposite
at her.
hind
Yeah, she's picking
is
it up
you're
too.
losing your frog. You see what I'm talking about? See how skinny the frog is getting? See how pointy it is? It's not developed.
So when that
Now,
frog-
what's the other thing that you see that's going on here? Oh, God, she's so dizzy. Stop. The other thing is, this is higher than this. Do you want to look down?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So,
So that's, yeah.
yeah, so she got a medial lateral imbalance too.
Now
But
with
I
that-
would take this down more. I try to get contact with that ground with the frog. Because the problem is he's leaving too much heel on there. He's leaving too much medial heel on there. He's causing a rotation, and he's causing that frog to become skinny, and he's losing connection with the heel.
So there's too much inside.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and
So
then does
I
that
like
apply
breakover
with her?
shoes. So the next step is breakover shoes.
Then that will help with her coffin?
The breakover shoe will help with getting. So he's got it at the right point, but then he's got to overcome a flat shoe. You know, they're designed to be rolled. They're designed to. In wild Mustangs have a roll on their foot when they're barefoot that they create. And if you look at this, a lot of shoes, you'll see them wearing that toe to try to make the roll. But we stop it by making a keg square shoe. So I prefer. Let me show you another stall with a horse that has one.
Oh, man.
They might be.
Give me a good example. She tends to go underslung forward. That's why I got her because they couldn't keep the sound. Hold on it. Now she's my
Sorry,
daughter's
Ricky.
hunter.
You didn't need that arm.
You got it?
I'm gonna watch this.
See how this is a breakover shoe? See how it has a roll in it? And so that helps them. This roll, see how it's square instead of a round thing? This makes the breakover. See how that's doing this?
Right.
It makes the energy dissipate easier as they roll over. They don't have to overcome that that tip,
Right.
and it makes a huge difference
Right.
in their balance.
Right.
That's with the stumbling and stuff too, right? If they stumble,
Yeah,
they don't pick
yeah,
up
because
on
they're not having to overcome that inertia of that point.
Now, what about with the coffin bone problem? You know, she's got to
Now
rotate.
the next thing I would do, I'm not done. So that's just in general for all horses.
Okay.
All horses should adhere to this. When you have a coffin bone problem like you're having, then at least temporarily, I like to use pores. Are you familiar with them?
No.
What is it?
Pores.
Oh, where you pour in
Pores.
the bottom of their
in the-
foot.
yeah,
the
you're
cushion.
using dental amalgam material, and there's a medium, soft, and hard. Start with a medium, somewhere in the middle. You don't want to get it too soft because it'll break up too easy. Medium pores seem to work the best. I like Vet Tech, but
Yeah.
the other company, what's the name of it? I'm just getting tired here. I'm getting so tired because I haven't
Yeah.
eaten today. What's the other company that makes the Bondo stuff? It's very famous. Equilux.
Okay.
So, but I like Vet Techs. They seem to last longer. I have really loved the pores. None of my horses need it now because they're all sound. But I had a thoroughbred off the tread that very thin-soled and his coffin bone had pedal osteitis. I put the Vet Tech medium pore until he grew enough thick sole that he didn't
Right.
need it anymore.
Okay.
And that's something that you could use. And the reason I like the pores is that if I'm going to operate on you, I'm not going to use garden gloves. I'm going to use surgeon's gloves.
Right.
The pores mold to all the parts and becomes like a secondary sole. So it becomes like surgeon gloves become part of my hand because they're molding to my
Right.
fingers. The pores will mold so they still get proprioception. But if you put a big old leather or
Yeah.
hard pad, they
gonna
can't feel
throw that
anything.
off.
So it's like us walking in concrete shoes.
Right.
You can't feel what you're doing. You want
Right.
If you're a ballerina, you want to use ballet shoes. So to me, it protects the coffin bone, but it allows them that proprioceptive information back.
Okay.
So I would do
Got
I would
it.
do a natural balance
Got it.
shoe with a pore,
With a medium pour in.
the medium pore.
Okay.
Okay.